Within the grounds of this Moscow hospital, Boris Yeltsin looks an increasingly sick and powerless figure. Recovering from pneumonia and a high temperature, his political obituary is already being written, and it's far from flattering. Yet inside the clinic, Mr. Yeltsin refuses to be written off. He insisted on meeting the Chinese leader there last week against medical advice. Mr. Yeltsin's heavy makeup and laboured breathing cruelly underlined the fact that his Chinese counterpart is 5 years older, but in good health. Just 2.5 years ago, President Yeltsin stormed to victory in the elections. Apparently extremely fit, he in fact suffered minor heart attacks during the campaign. A quintuple heart bypass followed only after he'd won. It's a dramatic decline for the man hailed as democracy's hero when he climbed on top of a tank in 1991 to denounce an attempted right-wing coup. By his side, in a grey suit, Alexander Korshakov, his bodyguard for the last 11 years. Today, Mr. Korshakov is a Russian MP, sacked by Mr. Yeltsin. The two are no longer on speaking terms, but he knows his former boss well.
I feel sorry for him as a human being, very sorry. But as a citizen of this country, I think it is inexcusable when the leader stumbles, falls over and is ushered about. Our president does not work. He's constantly undergoing treatment. That's why he should resign.
He says Boris Yeltsin's only power now is his signature. He must sign every decree before it becomes law, 1,700 last year. Insiders say he no longer reads what he signs, and it takes him 19 seconds to put his name to a document. The truth is that Boris Yeltsin's friends, just as much as his enemies, are perfectly happy to see him stay here in this hospital, a virtual prisoner. His family, particularly his daughter Tatiana, are able to use influence on his behalf and in his name, whereas at the same time his opponents, particularly those who want to succeed him to the presidency in the year 2000, are by no means ready yet to fight a presidential election campaign. In the bitter cold of a Moscow market, the president's condition excites little sympathy. Soaring prices and the falling ruble are evidence of how his economic policy has failed.
I can't find words to describe how bad he is. He is useless, either a fool or a traitor.
He is bad, bad, bad. He should step down.
He is an old and sick grandfather, just sitting out his term in office, waiting for his pension.
Prime Minister Yevgeny Primakov has taken over more and more of the ailing president's duties, but Mr. Yeltsin will cling on as long as he can, in office, but no longer in charge. Mark Webster, News at 10, Moscow.
Football and Everton's controversial chairman...
Winners together tonight with jackpots worth nearly £25 million, all with something in common. They're from Grimsby. Mick and Jackie King are the latest to strike lucky. Mr. King didn't find out until late last night. His wife telephoned him at work in Essex and said they'd won £200,000. She didn't think he'd be able to drive home if he knew the true value of the cheque. When he did return, she told him.
Well, you know, I said it was 200,000. I said, it's not. It's 14 million. What? Or something like that.
Why am I just thinking about 200,000? You know, I thought, Jack has always wanted to move. At least we've got enough money to get a decent house, and I might have to wait for a few weeks. I can have Christmas off and then think about going back in the new year.
Luck and coincidence. 6 weeks ago, Mr. King lost his job at an oil refinery along with Bernie Finn, who hit the jackpot 3 weeks later, winning $3 million. And 4 months before that, Roy Gibney, another friend, won a jackpot of $7.5 million. One of Mr. King's plans now is investment in Grimsby Town Football Club, where he's hoping to spread his homegrown luck even further. Andrew Simmons, News at 10.
That's News at 10 tonight. We're here again tomorrow. From the entire team here at ITN,